Hey, everybody. Good evening. This is Dirk from the PrimeXBT Trading Academy with today's live episode of That Crypto Show. I hope everybody is doing well. Has been quite a week for us cryptocurrency traders and cryptocurrency investors with wild swings on the market. And I was thinking for a while, actually, this week, if this is actually a good time to do today's webinar where we're talking about successful trades and successful trading setups. But yeah, I think especially when times are hard, it's always also very important to take a step back and to analyze that the good times, in this case for cryptocurrency trading, always will prevail the bad time. So without further ado, welcome again if you're watching this on Twitter. Welcome if you're watching this on YouTube. Should you be watching live on YouTube, as always, you have, of course, the opportunity to write to me here in the live chat function if we have enough time by the end of this webinar. Of course, I'm more than happy to answer your questions there. If you are watching the recording of this later on YouTube and you have any questions, maybe leave us a comment underneath. Also, subscribe to our channel and leave us a like, please. Much appreciated. Good, let's jump right into the action. So today I want to talk about successful trades, and I called this webinar, this live stream, my most successful trades of 2022 so far. And I've picked out, I've obviously done hundreds of trades by now. We are already approaching mid of May, but I picked out 3 trades which come from 3 different categories. So we are going to talk about a pure technical setup. I have an example there for you. We are going to talk about one trade that I did because of a fundamental setup. And we are going to talk about a trade that I actually just did 2 days ago or 3 days ago. That was a sentiment setup. And I've chosen these 3 different type of trades so you can kind of get an overview that not everything in terms of trading always has to be technical setups, because indicator X or Y says, hey, you have to buy now or you have to sell. And if so, fundamental setups and sentiment setups are setups as well that you as a beginner trader can also trade. Good. Before we start, also, if you are not yet a member of PrimeXBT, a client of PrimeXBT, you will find a link in the bottom in the description of this video where you can open a trading account. PrimeXBT offers great spreads for trading cryptocurrencies. Very low commission is really my choice of cryptocurrency exchange when I want to especially trade leverage positions. If you use the promo code Trading Academy, all in capital letters, then you will get a bonus from PrimeXBT of up to $7,000. So that's a nice little add-on to help you get kick-started with your trading career. I'm going to open now my first chart. And this is going to be a Bitcoin chart. So the first trade I want to talk about, which was one of my most successful trades here so far in 2022, is a Bitcoin trade. And it is a pure technical setup. I traded there based on my RSI hook strategy. I've been talking a lot about this RSI hook strategy in the past. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, maybe have a look at earlier videos where I explain in detail how the strategy works and why I like to trade it, when you can trade it, and when you should not trade it. And this was a trade I did from a daily chart. I'm going to zoom a little bit in here and going to use my crossing tool here. And I opened this trade here on the 21st of January 2022 after Bitcoin had declined from the top here at $50,000 all the way down to $35,000. And I got this nice, so the RSI here went into the territory of being oversold, and then we got this nice hook on this day. Really picture perfect setup for this strategy. We had a close that was slightly outside the lower band of the RSI here still. And so I our drawing tool here, just a second. So I chose to enter the trade on the close of this candle, which was around 36,300, 36,400 US dollars because of this cross down here. And now the rules for these for setups like this are always, I'm going to wait until the price reaches the middle Bollinger Bands line, then I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. I did that, so I was a bit lucky here on the way down that I wasn't stopped out, and then it really took off and I was able to close my trade once we touched the upper Bollinger Band here at around about 43,200 US dollars. So in just a couple of days, I held on to this trade slightly over a week here. As you can see, I made really per Bitcoin, I was trading there 6,500 US dollars almost. So great trade, picture perfect setup, and my first example of a very successful trade because the technical setup was so good and because also the way it was executed really, if you look up the RSI hook strategy in a book about finances, maybe in the future, you probably would find this trade as an example. Shows also how good this strategy is to trade from daily charts because you don't have so much noise like you have, for example, on 5-minute charts and so on and so forth. So this was a pure technical setup. I didn't look at any fundamentals for this trade. I didn't look at any sentiment. It was really an indicator or a combination of indicators showing there's a good entry point now, and this is the point where you should exit the trade. Very easy to do. Like I said, if you want to know more about the RSI hook strategy, have a look at the videos here of the PrimeXBT Training Academy, where I explain in detail how to use the strategy, when to use it, and also, of course, when not to use it. All right, let's have a look at the second trade here, which was a trade in the S&P 500 that I based off fundamental facts in this case. Also a chart I've been showing on that crypto show for quite a lot in the past. And this trade was so special because I think I really nailed it with the fundamental analysis term. Sorry to sound a little bit arrogant there maybe. And I made a little bit of a mistake, which I'm going to show you also when describing this trade. So this trade was based upon my observation that every time, at least at that point, after the last 3 FOMC minutes, Federal Open Market Committee, so the regulatory body of the Federal Reserve Bank in the USA, after we had those minutes published, the S&P 500, so the stock market, made a new low shortly after this. You can see this here on the 24th of November last year, 1st of January this year, 16th of February this year. And I entered the market in a short S&P 500 position here on the 6th of April. And back then I said, should this pattern really be the same like last time, we probably are going to see a target zone somewhere in this red circle here. Now what happened was, on the 2nd of May, we hit this target zone. You can see the candle here. Let me zoom in a little bit, slicing down into this red circle. So I closed the trade because I thought the market, this move might be over now and the market might move to the upside again. And also because there was this interest rate decision in the USA, and I thought the market actually took it quite good. And would reverse now to the upside. And what happened is we saw like 2 days of upside in the market, and then the market now continued to plunge lower. This is also what drove the whole cryptocurrency market down, with the S&P 500 trading under 4,000. So a good example of actually a well-executed trade, but a trade that I closed too early, to be fair. So I missed another, what is that here, 150 points of move in the S&P 500. This trade also you can very easy do on the PrimeXBT trading platform. You can short the S&P 500, so you can long and short the S&P 500 there as well. Pretty easy. In my case, because I sometimes like to trade options too, I did it in a different way. What I did here is that I bought put options and sold call options to keep this liquidity-wise as a neutral trade at that point. So in this case, this trade is, of course, very different from the Bitcoin trade I talked about just now, because for this trade, I didn't use any technical indicators to try to time the market. It was solely a trade out because of fundamental reasoning, because of the observation. Whenever the FOMC minutes are published, the market in the next weeks trends lower. So total opposite of a technical setup, nonetheless, also a very, very successful trade, obviously. So the third and last trade I want to introduce to you today is a trade I just did 2 days ago. And maybe let me make my screen a little bit bigger here so you can see better. Here we go. And that was a trade in Terra Luna. And for this trade, I have to kind of tell you a backstory. This is a trade based on sentiment decisions, by the way. I noticed on the 9th of May, while I was browsing through Twitter, a tweet by a gentleman called Jack Newald that pointed out that the market capitalization of Terra US dollar and Luna was different, which should not be the case normally when you are able to redeem 1 Terra US dollar for 1 Luna token, right? And I kind of started looking into this and noticed shortly after this, so this is me replying to the tweet here of Jack Newald, that actually the spread was widening, and that with this type of market capitalization for Luna, we should have a Terra US dollar price of 0.94. And at this point, I thought, okay, there's something really, really off and really odd going on here. So I actually, because the price of Luna obviously kept declining at this point already, I wanted to short Luna. And I have, when it comes to positioning like this, always 2 hearts beating in my chest, obviously, because I was aware with the price already declining from the mid 80s to at that point the 50s and 40s, that a lot of people already had probably lost a lot of money with Terra Luna. Nonetheless, I was looking for a short entry here because I thought that this probably is an event where Terra Luna is going to break, and a stable coin also, not trading at 1 US dollar, trading below that, declining more and more, obviously is not the best instrument to fill investors with trust. And then something odd happened. So I was at first here on the 9th of May, that was trying to enter Luna with limit orders, and somehow my limit orders never got executed because the market declined so fast. And at one point I was really, really pretty frustrated because my plan was in the 50s here to short Luna, but since I had sell limit orders in the market and the market went lower and lower, it kind of ran away, and I was a bit frustrated because I thought, okay, I had the right intention here, I had the right idea for a trade, but I'm kind of missing the train on me. So eventually at $29 and a couple of cents, I just shorted it with a market order. So I sold around about 1,000 Luna token there. And actually after this, I went to bed, and I thought to myself, okay, this can go 2 ways. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm either up 10,000 US dollars or I've lost 10,000 US dollars. So it's a bit of a gamble. Now, when I woke up the next day and went to work, I saw that Luna was approaching 5 US dollars, and I closed the trade there with a massive profit of over 20,000 US dollars. And I think this was one of the most successful trades I did this year, not because there was plenty of money earned in this trade, but because I had a feeling for the sentiment. I had a feeling I saw there's something off, and I executed on this trade. So this is one important thing you have to understand when you're trading. You have to put your money always where your mouth is, and trade it. Obviously, I could have held on longer to this trade already, because sadly we are now approaching a level here in Terra Luna. Yeah, that's trading at 1 cent now almost. So it's obviously over with Terra Luna. I could have held on longer to this on this still fantastic performance. And I said, actually, I'm not going to keep the money I earned with this trade. The majority of this I'm going to give to charity, because of the sad stories I read really there online of people losing their life savings because they were fully invested in either US dollar, Terra US dollar, or into the Luna token. So this is, always the two hearts that are beating in my chest. As a trader, of course, you need to capitalize on situations like this. But on the other hand, if I see, my God, people were, I'm going to say it just now, scammed maybe by the situation there, and lost really their life savings or large portion of their life savings. I also read stories online of people committing suicide because of this. Of course, this is something, where at least with this money I can do a little bit to maybe make the situation a bit better. Yeah, so really 3 trades here, 3 different trading setups. One pure technical setup that was very successful with the RSI hook strategy. One fundamental setup with the FOMC minutes pattern, I like to call it, and one sentiment setup where I noticed there's something off between Terra Luna and Terra US dollar, and was trading that. Now, of course, I'm nosy to know how you guys have navigated through markets, through this market here. So if you have any question, let me know now. But I see there is no questions here at the moment. Maybe leave a comment just under this webinar if you're watching this later on, to let me know how was the week for you. Did you lose money? Did you win money? Did you stay aside from the market? So one thing I, for example, did in the last days, with the exception of this Luna trade, is that I didn't day trade anymore, because when there's a certain threshold of volatility reached or overreach, I'm usually do not like to day trade anymore, because from my experience, it's that really, if you're day trading by indicators, at least the indicators are not going to show you very good things, are not a good indication, so to say, anymore for entering and exiting trade. And so for me is, whenever I see, for example, that the intraday volatility, I have to say, of Bitcoin is larger than 5%, I at least become either very cautious with day trading, or I stop day trading for a couple of days completely. And yeah, thank you for your words, EMH. I actually, this week was also not good for me. Absolutely, I think it was almost impossible this week, if you're trading cryptocurrencies, to always be on the right side, except if you were totally short. So day trading wise, I've lost some money as well, with the exception of the Luna trade I just showed you guys. Nonetheless, this is what trading is about. It's always the market gives sometimes we have phases where obviously we are able to make good trading decisions and earn money with trading, and sometimes the market does not work in the way it is intended. Hold on, let me do like this. Okay, here we are. Good. That brings us already to the end of this quite short live webinar. I think it's important in times like this, where the market is so crazy, to kind of lean back for a while. If you are, for example, if you are keeping a trading journal, which I highly recommend to you if you're a beginner trader, so where you take down every trade that you are doing, you write a couple of words, why you entered the trade, why you exit the trade, and over time then you will automatically start to see that in market phases that are very bad, that those phases are always, they come and go. For every bad phase, there's going to be a phase where you will be very profitable, and where maybe you are like 10, 15, or 20 times in a row on the right side of a market. So don't stick your hand into the sand. I'm going to do probably a special, by the way, on Terra Luna tomorrow to kind of show how the whole thing unraveled and what was really going on there, working on it. So I'm going to see you again very, very soon. Until then, stay safe out there. If you are unsure about the market circumstances like right now, better stay at the sidelines. So it's totally okay, you know, to take a break from trading for a couple of days until the market situation kind of normalizes again. One thing is for sure, guys, Bitcoin will prevail. It always has, and it will also this time. And 4 years down the road, we are probably going to ask ourselves, hey, why didn't I buy more Bitcoins when the price was cheap at 29,000 US dollars? Going to see you again. Take care. All the best. Always remember to use the stop loss. Take care and bye-bye.